Today, I would like to share with you my journey of teaching myself and others how to live off-grid in High Vista, California. I will share what worked and what didn't work, and the obstacles along the way. I will definitely make mistakes because I am just learning as I go. I appreciate helpful tips, and please feel free to ask me any questions. I will do these videos in a numerical series so it could be a little bit easier to follow. Thank you, and I really hope you enjoy the journey. In my first video of Journey to Living Off-Grid, I showed you how I put this fence up. Well, the part here, which is made out of plywood, did not hold up. The winds out here are very strong. Sometimes it gets up to 60 to 80 miles per hour. And basically, it blew the pallets made out of plywood down. The one that I made out of the OSB wood, though, it lasted. It was a lot more sturdier, and it is still standing strong a year later. All of the material was basically free from companies giving it away, except for a few of the 2x4s that I nailed the OSB pallets to. Okay, this is the beginning stages of my off-grid living. Of course, you need lots of wood. I don't have a wood-burning stove yet, but eventually I plan on having one. But it's always a good idea to have plenty of wood because I do have a nice fire pit, and it's really wonderful to see that beautiful fire at night. I love making fires out here. This is a big fire pit too. It's very relaxing. At first sight, you may say, what in the world is that? Most people don't even know what this container is used for unless they have a farm, land, or they're, used to working off-grid. Anyway, this is a 1,500-gallon water container, and I decided to make it my home away from home. It was given to me. So while I'm on the land, I am teaching myself how to live off-grid, and during the meantime, when I want to protect myself from the elements, I get in this container. At first, I was using this tent. This is an ice fishing tent The reason I bought this one is because it's nice and tall and I can stand up in it and there's plenty of room. However, the wind is so ferocious out here in the desert. It was blowing this tent all over the place, so I had to get something that was more stable, and that's when I got the bright idea about the water container. So, when I saw it, I said this would be perfect to protect me against all of the elements of the desert. Initially, I used the ladder right here to climb through the top and enter through the hole through the top. Eventually, I got tired of doing that, you can imagine, and I decided that I was going to cut a door on the side so I could use that a lot easier to get in and out. It didn't take long to cut the door on the side, and I just put a lock on there so I'm able to lock it from the outside or from the inside. Here, let me show you the inside and how I insulated it with a product from Home Depot. Okay, here is the inside of my spaceship. I call it a spaceship because it just kind of looked like a little spaceship with all this silver radiant barrier in here. But I put it all over. I did everything. I did the floor, all of the walls, the ceiling. Sometimes when I'm in here, I feel like I'm wrapped up like a baked potato. But I don't know, we're gonna see how this works. It's supposed to, when you use the radiant barrier, it's supposed to keep it cooler in the summertime and warmer in the wintertime. So far it seems like it does do that, but with the really intensive heat out here in High Vista, basically Lancaster, it still gets pretty hot in here, so I might have to add a little air conditioner. I do have a small one. I'm gonna test it out more and see how good it works. But so far I like it. There's that fire pit again. Okay, here's the outside of the water container, or how I like to call it, my spaceship. After I did a little bit of updating and decorating, I put a tarp and then covered the tarp with a canvas material on the top where I normally would enter that hole at. When I got this water container, it didn't have a top on it. Normally it has an actual top for the top, but it didn't have that, so I had to make my own. And I made my own first out of some of the wood, and I put that in there. Then I covered it with the tarp, and then I covered it with the canvas material, and then I used a bungee cord to make it all tight around there so water couldn't get in. And then I just added little decorative things around it, rocks and flowers and stuff like that to make it look cute. Now I was thinking maybe I should put bricks, like brick the whole thing up. I think that would look nice. I don't know. If you guys have any bright ideas, let me know. If you think I should paint it or put stucco on it, I don't know. Just any bright ideas, just leave it at the comments below. I would really appreciate it because I know that there's several different things I can do with this water container. Anyway, I will like to show you what I did to the inside. I have a couple of pictures. When I finished putting the radiant barrier up, I proceeded to decorate the inside, all with free products that I got from Craigslist to make it nice and cozy. I used my solar generator for power for my lights, my fan, my computer, and for my tools. This container is tall enough for a 6'2" man to stand in and have plenty of room for supplies and sleeping. I know some of you might be thinking, where do you use the bathroom? Well, I'm glad you asked. Initially, I ordered this pop-up tent from Amazon, and it's very suitable. You can also use it for showering, and I bought a portable toilet from Big 5. So I used that, and then I met some off-gridders, and they said, hey, you're supposed to mark your territory and do it like the animals, meaning that you're supposed to just use the land. So I did use the land a couple of times because it was a couple of dogs, wild dogs, that kept coming to my land, and they was trying to, challenge me and intimidate me. So I figured if I mark my territory, maybe that might keep them away. And I think it worked. They do come by every now and then and take a look at me, but they seem to keep going their way. So anyway, after I used the pop-up tent for a little while, I decided that out of those pallets, I'm gonna make myself a little bathroom. So I built like a little area for you to sit at, and I did buy a toilet seat to go there, and I put a bucket in there. So I'm basically using the compost type of method, where if you use it, then you put grass and leaves and things in there, and then after time it automatically composts, and many people use it to fertilize their land, or you could just dispose of it. I have dug a deep hole and I dispose of it like that, but there's various different ways to dispose of it. And I used the pallets for the floor, and then some people gave me some extra towels, so I put the towel down to make it decorative. They gave me that little rabbit, so I was like, oh, the rabbit goes cute in there. So I was just making it look a little bit homey. And the door closed. There's a door on there that I put on there, and it has a latch, so you can have a little bit of privacy. Alrighty. These are my potatoes. They recommend that when they start doing this, it's a good time to go ahead and plant them. So they tell you to cut them up. You want this part to be facing up, so it could just grow straight to the surface. And they also say for you to cut them up like this. That way you get more plants. And you have to let them set out for some hours because you want this to get kind of tough. So once you put them in the ground, they won't start to mold or anything. And you just plant them 4 to 6 inches deep. And give them some good old water. And if you have some fertilizer, that's a good idea too. Okay, dokie. Bye now. I decided to call this land the healing ground because I feel that's what it is, and it's what I want others to intend it to be. We have moved so far away from the way God intended us to live, and I feel it's time we get back connected to Mother Nature, and hopefully we can heal many or all of our ailments. I appreciate you taking the time out to watch this video, and I welcome any advice, comments, or suggestions. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.